What's good, YouTube? You already know this is Big Flacco, ACP, a convict's perspective. Hoping everybody's having a positive, productive day. Before we get to this video, though, I need you guys all to do me a favor. You see that subscribe button? Hit that subscribe button. You see that like button? Hit that like button. And if you like the video, please put a comment. And after you're done with all that, hit that bell notification for future fire content. Now, as you can tell, man, we're going to be getting into a recent prison murder that happened about May 13th, I believe, a couple days ago. Allegedly, two incarcerated people named Andrew L. Espinoza and Frank Vasquez allegedly attacked another incarcerated person, Raul E. Mendoza. Two inmate manufactured weapons were recovered at the scene. This occurred at KVSP, Kern Valley State Prison, which is one of the more notorious prisons at this time that has been having a lot of murders this year. Now, this case is kind of interesting. I'm going to explain why. The victim was only doing 11 years. 11 years. I don't understand when someone's doing that minimal time, does it really warrant taking their life? Okay, well, he was from Compton. He was a Sudanese Southsider, right? Now, I'm going to put him in the middle of the thumbnail so you guys can recognize who's who. Now, Andrew Espinoza, from my understanding, was a resident Southsider. He was only doing 7 years, 4 months, I believe, for a carjacking case, right? 7 years, 4 months. Okay. Now he's looking at allegedly maybe a life sentence. Okay. He, I believe, was from the Los Angeles area. Now, Frank Vasquez, who was from Tulare County, he was the only one that was basically a lifer in this situation, a little bit older out of all these individuals. I'm going to put him on the right side of the thumbnail. Now, as I've said over and over again, I'm going to continue to reiterate this. I think this is some of the hottest, most bloodiest times in the Department of Corrections in California. I've never seen so many murders happening week after week from different factions in the different facilities. Now, the only change in the system that's happened like in the last 10 years have been the release of all the individuals that were basically high-powered, those that came from the short corridor leaderships that were part of these organizations. They were out there on those lines, whether it's the Nuestra Familia, the MA, Aryan Brotherhood, even the Black Guerrilla family. So now you see these groups out there, there's like a no tolerance for certain behaviors or certain conducts. And it makes you wonder, like, what's really going on? What's going on in the minds of these organizations that they feel that, someone went too far, that we have to have him hit. He has to be killed. How many examples have to be set? Because week in and week out, we're seeing examples of individuals being killed. And a lot of times they're younger, but sometimes they're older. And you wonder why. Was it really necessary to take this man's life? Then you have individuals that are barely doing time. 7 years, that are being sent on these missions. I mean, where in these incidents that have happened, right, where does it really benefit the COSA or the cost for these groups? Usually it's involving someone on a higher totem pole, right, who wants to make this decision because it's affecting their pocket, or they feel disrespected, or they disrespected someone that is basically kicking in. None of these calls, I believe, are really for the benefit of any of these groups or organizations, man. There ain't nothing there that's going to sit there and say, oh, yeah, homeboy did that for the cause. What did homeboy do so bad that he had to get hit? And the messed up thing is I don't really have the information to make sense of this. Like, it just doesn't make no sense. Killing your own people. Killing your own fucking people over and over again. All these groups. Did someone just wake up and just didn't have enough dope that day to shoot? Did they get a hair in their ass? I mean, why is this happening over and over again? To me, it's starting to show that none of these groups at all have any type of incentive for their people. See, you're supposed to uplift your people. You're supposed to maybe even put into action, forms of corrective discipline to help correct problems. You don't just start to get whack happen and just start having dudes hit. And that's where I think that there's some ego that's involved in a lot of these hits. That people want to be that guy that's recognized as, yeah, I'm the one that had that dude hit. Because trust me, as much as people say they don't boast about what they've done or what they do, people do it all the time. And people eat it up all the time. That's where true leadership comes from. That's where you show and exhibit that you're about your people. Prison's already a fucked up environment with a lot of fucked up people, but there's potential there in some of the youngsters that could be molded and, educated and come out with a different attitude, to be a better man or to become a man when they hit that streets. But with all this type of shit, man, I don't know how anybody could feel comfortable on a day-to-day basis functioning, not knowing what the outcome's going to be of some petty ass shit. Is this dude going to get killed for this and that? You just don't know. And see, what a lot of people don't tell you, right, and we haven't even really talked about it too much as far as on these videos, is that gunner, there's a no warning shot that's been designed that if they see you using any type of like deadly weapon, by all means they can knock you down. I don't know about most people, but someone like me, I black out. When it's violent times, I'm aware of everything around me. I can see. I've been in melees where I could tell, okay, I'm gonna get this dude next, and I could just see everything. But at the end of the day, I can't see that gunner. I can't see what he's gonna do. Is he gonna shoot? Is he gonna just sit there and just let it continue? Is he gonna get the black gun? So you never know. There's no guarantee that when you get off or involved in anything of that nature, there's no guarantee that you're gonna be coming home. There's no guarantee that he may not shoot you. There's no guarantee that you don't catch a life sentence. These are things that really need to be advocated, and the youth need to be aligned to it. This is what's at stake if you go to prison. There's never going to ever be a safe day. You're always going to be potentially putting yourself at risk by, going to prison. Some of you may think, okay, oh, that's not going to happen to me. I'm going to stay solid, man. My homies ain't going to cross me up. You know how many individuals have said that same fucking story and the opposite ended up turning out? Hella homeboys I've talked to, man. Hella other individuals. Truth of it is, you're nobody special. You know what I mean? And to get to where, the most badass gang member gets, right? The top of the top. The ways people get there, man, it's not with honor. It's not with integrity. It's with being cutthroat. It's with being treacherous. It's with wiggling, maneuvering, campaigning, putting your own fucking self first. That's how people get there. The baddest of the bad. The worst of the worst. Those are the ones that they want within these rank and files of these organizations. You gotta remember, it's prison. You got the worst of the worst. You got thugs. You got people who are just ain't right in the head. You got scandalous individuals, drug addicts, dope fiends, murderers. You have everything there. So it's hard to have anything ensured that's going to have integrity and all that stuff, man. The truth of it is, man, it's every man for himself. With basically fake lines within some of these groups. Yes, you can go to a prison, you're going to have some type of respect, unity, and, some homeboys will take care of you and whatnot. But the bottom line of this situation is not always so good. And that's what I'm trying to get at, the bottom line. Now, the reason why I've been, bringing messages lately when it comes to these prison murders to the youth is because I think that the youth deserve the right to have information that can help them be aware of what time it is in prison, what it's really like, so they can make an informed decision about their choices and decisions out there on the streets. Because you can't sit there and have information, okay, this is what's going to happen, this is what that life's about. All these things, they're trying to pull you away from the gang, you still go there and say, oh, I didn't know any better. No. If you provide that information, you're going to know better. And that's why I think it's important really to take heed to some of these videos. Listen to what I'm saying when it comes to this stuff, man, because a lot of people put the blindfolds on, then they get to prison and they realize this is what prison is really about. It's nothing like what they perceived it to be. During my time era, we didn't have people telling us what time it was. If anything, they were trying to encourage us to be involved in the gang lifestyle and basically, try to reap the benefits of the youngsters that they were trying to manipulate. Let me say it like this. The way it was back in my time era, we didn't know what we were signing up for because we thought it was something different than what was told. So please take heed to some of these stories and what people say. Therefore, you can really know what you signed up for. With that said, it's Flacco from a convict's perspective. I'm gone.